Alright, everybody. Welcome back to 7th Layer Oddities. I'm TJ, your favorite host. There's no other host besides me. Today, I would like to talk about aliens. Aliens. Because aliens have been my favorite topic since I was like 5 years old, ever since I saw the movie Signs. And if you haven't seen the movie Signs, then what the fuck are you doing with your life? Because Mel Gibson nailed that part. And that whole movie, like when that alien comes around the corner and all the kids are like looking down the alleyway, bro, that crippled a whole generation, I swear to God. That scene alone. And that whole movie, it's like, Scary Movie's kind of ruined that movie a little bit because it's just like I can't not think about Scary Movie 3 when I'm watching that. But still, the concept of that movie and like everything that's going on, like it's all like it says in that movie, like coincidences aren't just nothing. Coincidences, all like everything happens for a reason in that movie. Like kid has asthma. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys if you haven't seen it, but if you have seen it, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And that movie it's on point. It's on point. And ever since I was little, I lived in this house, and there was crop circles. Ever since I was little, we lived in this house, and behind us there was a crop field. And right after seeing that movie, every night, like my back window was on the patio, the second story, and I'd be like looking out my blinds, like trying to see if like I could see crop circles out there, and like aliens would come down. Like it scared me, but like at the same time it interested me. I painted my room, like my dad helped me paint my room black and green, and I had all this alien stuff. Like I was so into it because of that movie. It got me so intrigued. I think it was my cousin too. He was pretty into aliens, but after that movie, it like really like set me off. And like just growing up, like I've always been super interested, just like ghost and all these odd things in this world. It's another thing that just like really, it's so interesting. How can you not be interested in it? This universe is huge. We are a speck of salt in this universe. We're not even a speck of salt. We're like a crumble of an atom in this universe. And to think that there's no one else out there? No one? Oh my God, how closed-minded can you be, Like, there's crazy things going on in this world every day. You watch videos on YouTube, not all of them are fake, you know what I'm saying? There's some crazy shit going on, and we can't explain it. Can you? Can you explain some of the things that you deem unexplainable? Because there's a lot of things I can't explain that I just have seen myself. For instance, one time, me and my homie Bob were on top of his roof 4th of July, and we were filming the horizon for our video, or I don't even know, B-roll, and we happened to notice this orange globe sitting in the middle of the sky, just sitting there. We're like, it's probably a lantern or something, 4th of July, whatever. But it sat there, and it was bright. It was a bright orange. And it was just sitting there in the sky. And next thing you know, another one appears above it, and then another one below it. And they're in a perfectly straight line. And then top one and the bottom one move like this. And the middle one sits there and kind of goes up. And they make up a triangle. I'm not shitting you, people. A triangle in the sky. There is a triangle. And then they move back. They go into another straight line. And then top one dissipates. Bottom one dissipates. And then the middle one's just sitting there. And then poof. Gone. Me and Bob saw this. And then another night at Bob's house, I used to smoke cigarettes. So we would always be out back at nighttime just smoking a cigarette before bed. This is how I've seen all these things. Lately vaping, I don't go outside much, but that's how I've noticed all these things in the sky. So me and probably like 9 homies, we're all chilling out back in his like pool area. And we look in the sky and we see like 7 lights making like the arrow shape that birds make when they're flying in the sky. They're kind of like that, and they're kind of like, from what I remember, they were leaving us. They kind of just appeared out of nowhere. They were just kind of like gliding down the sky, And we all sitting there looking. Homie's like, oh, they're helicopters. Oh, wait a minute. And one disappears. Two on the right side disappear. And then they just slowly both start disappearing, and then the one in the middle, poof, gone. After they stop in the sky. Like, those ain't helicopters, and it was so dead silent that night. All the homies were there. No one could explain what it was, you know? Yeah, it could have been some crazy satellite thing, but they was way too close to be satellites, you know what I'm saying? Like, these things, I've tried to explain myself. I've tried to get myself to understand these things that I've seen in the sky, but I can't. You know what I'm saying? I bet if you've seen some things in the sky, you probably can't explain just like I can't explain. And I'm explaining it to the best of my ability right now. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting. Because the things that I've seen and throughout my whole life, it's all connected and everything, coincidences and deja vu and all these crazy things that we don't really think about unless you think about. You know what I'm saying? If you're one of me, you understand what I'm trying to say, because it's so vast in this world of knowledge that we think and try to understand. But we can't, because the concept of what we think is real and not real, we cannot break out of our minds, because we are so built to just think a certain way, and these things exist and they don't exist, and if you can't see it, doesn't like, we can't see air, like, and we still believe that we're breathing oxygen because someone told us. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if oxygen really isn't a thing? Like, all these scientists, like, you know, it's just some bullshit I'm throwing out my ass, but it's like, it's just a concept that I'm trying to explain about these odd things going in this world. I don't even know if I'm making sense, but, you know, I'm just going off. Again, this is just my own personal thoughts, feelings, and ideas about what I think aliens are. And what I think they are interdimensional beings. Just like we are third-dimensional beings, they are probably fourth-dimensional beings, you know what I'm saying? Not probably, they are. They have to be. They have to be in another dimension. They don't have to be. That's just my own thinking and thoughts coming out. But think about it. If they're just poofing out of the sky that fast, boom, sonic speed, boom, how could they be traveling that fast? Maybe they're just literally teleporting into another dimension, boom, like that. And we just see him here and then there, like Bigfoot. Maybe he's a dimensional being and he just boop, boop, coming through. Maybe he's fooling with us when we think we're going to capture him, you know what I'm saying? Maybe all of these things are testing us to see how we react to them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one day, when we aren't surprised by them anymore, then they will actually be one with us. Or maybe when we all get together and unite in this world, maybe that's the sign for them to all show up, and I don't know. It's all dimensional being, weird shit that I've been looking up, and all these weird things. It's just crazy to me. Because then I look back on, like, the first encounter that I could find of, like, in the United States of aliens. And it goes to, like, a couple down in, I don't even know. So, Betty and Barney Hill. The first story of alien abduction in the U.S. history was in 1961 in New Hampshire, in the New Hampshire's White Mountains. Okay, this is 1961. I'll throw the picture of the couple up on the screen now. But this couple, okay, if you look at these people, they would have to make up a story about getting abducted by two gray beings with big eyes and little bodies and big heads. And they were taken and they were probed and they were tested, and then their memories got wiped. Like, okay, in 1961, before movies even came out about aliens or anything, like, they're saying things like that. For them to come up with that crazy of a concept, maybe they were creative writers. I don't know. But that's still, like, try to come up with some crazy concept right now. Some crazy non-fiction story that you could throw on the market and it would just be, like, mind-changing, and it's so real, and that, like, that's crazy to think about in 1961. So the encounter that they portray to have happened I mean, it's pretty interesting if you really look into it. You can go on Google. I just literally typed in first alien encounter ever, the most basic search, and like that's the first thing you see. So, I mean, you look into that, and it's pretty interesting to think about that back in 1961, before we all had TVs, movies, all phones. Like, it's pretty interesting. But then here's my theory. It's like, why would aliens need to abduct us and do experiments on us? Like, if they're dimensional beings and they're smart enough to like come through dimensions and not ever really be seen by us and all this crazy stuff, why would they need to like run tests on us? They should probably already know what we're about, what's going on. Like, obviously they're running tests on us to see like what they put in us and see if it's still working, maybe, or if their subject is still up to date on their experiments. I don't know, but it's weird to think about, right? It's pretty interesting. It's just a whole bunch of concepts that I think about by myself in a room. You don't have to like take it in and think that I'm the wise man. Like, I don't know what I'm saying. This is just what I think about. This is just crazy things going on in my head because aliens are so fucking interesting. I don't think anybody really can grasp the concept of how crazy aliens are. Like, they're probably able to go invisible. They could probably be right next to me right now in another dimension, you know what I'm saying? It's like, think about dreams. People say that dreams could be you connecting to your other dimension, or you're looking at another soul in another dimension. But it's all connected within a dimension. We're all in the dimensions. So it's like, if they're running tests on us, and our soul is pretty much the thing that travels on to the next dimension, why would they be testing our bodies? You know what I'm saying? Are they testing the soul and seeing how it reacts to physical harm? Or, you know, like, it's crazy. Like, they should know. They're smart. They're smart beings. Or are they? Like, are they just like us? They're just other dimension, and they're just coming here to scavenge for food and water and seeing what happens if they give us bombs, and they're giving us all this technology. Like, maybe that's a concept too, because if you look back at all like the Egyptians and the Mayans and like all these places, New Mexico, Brazil, you know, like China, even, like all these crazy places back before time even was conceptually a time thing, these people are writing on walls with carved stones and shit about things with orbs around their heads and things in the sky, beings in the sky. They couldn't email each other and talk about UFOs. They couldn't get in a face group chat and talk about UFOs. Are you kidding me? They're writing these things on stone walls about UFOs that date back way, who fucking knows how long, and they didn't know each other. That's so interesting. That is so interesting. And then, but this day and age, like, you would think there would be more to it. You think there'd be more to it. But, I don't know. It's just super interesting. Because alien abduction, all these movies, like, if you've seen The Fourth Kind, very, very intense movie about alien abductions in Alaska. Whew, that's another... See, they could be good, or are they bad? Just like people, you know, we have good people and bad people. Are there good aliens and bad aliens? There have to be. They're not all good. Are they? Like, I don't know. But if it's in another dimension where our soul goes, supposedly, maybe, theoretically, why would they be traveling back into the third dimension? Maybe it's us. Maybe the aliens are us traveling back into the third dimension to check up on. But, you know, why would you want to, like, probe your loved one? That's pretty weird. Again, I'm just ranting about some bullshit. It's just these orbs, these stories, these movies, do they ever get you thinking about this shit? Because dimensions and coincidences, numbers, pyramids. They say like a pyramid's like super powerful. If you built your house like in like a pyramid shape, it's said to even draw more energy to your home than an average home. Like it's like I watched some documentaries about that, and it's like tested and proven that like a pyramid shape can like. This world is fucking crazy. And it drives me crazy on how crazy this fucking world is. Because there's so many things, and there's so many gizmos and gadgets and doohickeys and doodahs with things that go on in our world, but yet every day people go on and just live in this physical world and not even probably think about this shit. But yet, back in the day, I feel like that's all they thought about. They worshipped them as gods. And I wonder if that's it. We're just so far from where we used to be that they kind of disappeared, and they're waiting for our own fall? Interesting theory. I'm just going as I am. You're watching as I'm watching myself on whatever we're doing now. So, welcome if you just came and listened to me bullshit about aliens. I just always thought it's interesting how there's theories about bad aliens, you know, abducting people and doing some crazy, wicked, gnarly shit to them and erasing their memories. But then there's also aliens that do good stuff for people, give them tools, give them ideas. So all these things like gods, it's all intertwined, man. And it's all interesting. It's all an odd... I don't even know where I'm going anymore with this. But aliens. Because are they here to help? Are aliens here to help? That's the real question, isn't it? Like if you go on Amazon Prime, look up the Missing 411. Very interesting documentary. I love those. They're about missing people in the woods. The last one I watched was in Idaho. Probably still a missing case. And there people are getting abducted and just disappearing forever. Why would they be doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's scary. And they're doing it to disabled people or people that can't defend themselves. Like, it's almost like they know exactly. Know exactly what's going on, when to do it, what happens. Everything's so coincidental, and like I'm getting goosebumps again talking about this. Like, it's so bizarre. This world is bizarre, and you're a fool to think otherwise. Like, would you want to get abducted? Would you want to get abducted and find out what happens? Like, what if they shove something way deep up in your ass? You know what I'm saying? That's horrifying. What if they take your skin off and they like plant some shit under your skin, and then you have a rash for the rest of your life and you don't even know why because they erased your memory? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's gnarly. But at the same time, like, maybe they're the ones that plant ideas into our heads. Maybe they're the one. Maybe they're the reason that I'm talking about random bullshit right now. But aliens, man. The biggest conspiracy of them all. Oh, what's Area 51? What's that all about? What's all this shit about? What's, you know, you're not scared of aliens, but yet, you know, like, you don't want to go hunt for them. What if you were in the mountains all by yourself and you started seeing lights come up the mountainside, and then you started hearing noises that just were horrifying? Screams and yells that sound like an animal but yet human. Like, there's so many crazy things out there, and people document these things all the time, and they're just disowned because it's too much for us to take in. I don't know. Just my theories, what I'm going off of. It's been about 20 minutes. I think we're just going to stop it out there. And if you guys want to tune in next time, I'll maybe rant some more about aliens. But those are my theories. Those are my stories. I hope you enjoyed the odd things that I've been talking about and enjoying my odd self. I'm TG Roy, and this is 7th Layer Oddities. Hope to catch you next time. Keep it vertical.